best and well for basketball team, and great job this year by Coach Cal and the kids and the players, and I wish them the best for tonight against Kansas. So I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Coach, player we haven't heard much about. I know he was high expectation. Keyshawn Davila, how's he doing?
Yeah, I like him, and I think he's done a good job. He's in, obviously he's battling with those other corners, but I think we hit on him. I like him. He's really, really fast. So, as we continue to go, I look for him to get better and better, which we really have done that. Our defense has really improved, I think, over the last few days. I think the corners are part of the reason.
Last year you had Malachi backing up Taylor, and this year you got a lot of young guys behind him. So are you a little concerned there if Taylor gets hurt, or do you feel pretty good about by the time fall rolls around, those guys will be ready? At least one of them.
Well, I think KJ Jackson, I think he'll be ready. He's done a lot of good things, and again, I think he's improving. It's a good competition in there. But I like KJ, and he's made some good throws. Continue to learn, but I think we'll all feel really comfortable when he goes in a football game.
Nico looks like he's gotten, or I keep calling him Nico Madden Iamaleava. I can say his name, the last name right. He looks like he's getting a lot of the third team reps. What have you seen from him from day 1 to day 5 now?
He didn't play last year, so I think his development, his improvement is going to go a little bit faster than even if he had. We really like him a lot. He's got a strong arm, works extremely hard at the craft, big time technician, spends extra time learning his responsibilities. But you're right now he's gotten not all but most of the 3 reps, and so we're trying to find really, right now KJ would be the 2, and then we're just trying to find out who that 3 is. Boda's getting some reps in there. Grayson's getting some reps in there. Grayson's actually improving as well. But I like him. He's talented. He's what we thought we would get when we signed him late.
We touched on this a little bit the other day, but a lot different looking receiver room. You go from 6'4", 6'7" guys to a lot shorter, 5'9", 5'8", 6'1". So do you feel like you're going to be better, worse, or just different at wide receiver?
I think we're going to be pretty special in the slot. That's not what your question was, but I think we'll be pretty special with Sharp, Shanks, and Cross Johnson. I think we'll be pretty special in there. On the edge, I would say C.J. Brown, CeCe would be the 2 guys that's probably stood out the most right now. We need Omega Blake to keep coming on, which I believe that he will. Monte Harrison made a couple of really nice one-handed grabs the other day, but I think probably to answer your question, we're probably 7 or so deep right now. We need that elite big man, whether that be Blake takes that, Harrison takes that, but we need that elite physical one-on-one presence guy, and I believe they're on the team. They just got to show up for us. I think they will, but I think we're going. I think we can throw and catch the football. I think probably you said it the best. We're just going to be a little bit different, and we'll even have, and we have had opportunities to have Sharp and Shanks on the field at the same time. Now, you're not going to be big when that happens, So we've got to find that one dominant. Andrew Armstrong, obviously, Traylon Burks was that way. And I believe we have them on the team. They've got another 10 practices to get that done.
Last time we talked, you said you feel like you know what you have a little bit more offensively than maybe on the defensive side of the ball with the new faces. Now that it's only been a week or so, but now that you've seen them a little bit more, who has stood out to you on that defensive side?
Quincy Rose, Ian Griffard, and Danny Sully. Those are three guys that I think, they didn't play a lot, but I think those three are as improved as anyone that we have on the team. They've done a really good job in there. Obviously, we're without Cam and Oki inside. Those guys, Sori and Dix, but they played, but you can feel them all the time. I'll tell you, Guy, Selman Bridges is getting better. Jaden Allen, and then we talked about Davila. But I think those guys that we hadn't seen play a lot of ball, those are the ones that I feel like, hey, they're going to be okay. They're going to be good players if they'll continue to improve.
I think we talked a little bit about Rohan Jones last time we saw you, but just what do you like about him, and what do you feel like you got in him?
Yeah, that's another thing. We've got to get him the ball more this spring because he's very, very capable. But I like the man. I like his work ethic. He's a willing blocker, and obviously he can run and catch. I haven't felt him as much at practice. We haven't got the ball to him as much, but he's very, very talented, and he's actually more physical than what I thought he would be when he came in.
And I guess same kind of question about Mike Washington because we haven't talked about him a whole lot yet. Yeah, what do you feel like he's added to the running back group?
He's good. I mean, he's fast. He can break tackles. He never says a word, he made a run the other day in the scrimmage. I don't know if we blocked many people from about the 6-yard line. Was special. On tape, watching him on tape, my only question was, can he break tackles? Because he's fast and he's big and he makes good cuts and all that. And that's been answered. I mean, he's broken a lot of tackles. And we've had opportunities situationally to tackle. We got to find about our team. And in those situations, we've stayed fairly healthy. But I'm high on Mike Washington.
Coach, the true freshmen that came in at midterm, have any of those guys stood out to you that maybe you think, hey, they may be in the mix this fall? Whether the starter or not, but at least get good, meaningful reps.
Right off the top of my head, the number one guy would be J.J. Shelton. I think he's a guy, obviously we recruit him at linebacker, but he's playing the nickel, the hog, whatever you want to call it. I think that would be the number one guy on defense that kind of sticks out. Offensively, I like those two linemen that we brought in, Blake Cherry and Cash Courtney. And before he got hurt, I thought that Ferguson was a guy that, and I still do, I believe that he'll be in our top 9. He made a great catch on that diving catch. We were in Spiders. He hit his shoulder, broke his clavicle, but he would be the other guy. And the kicker, Starcy.
At linebacker, I know about Sori and Dix, but who behind them is kind of moving up to the front behind those two guys?
Shaw would be that. It's unfortunate that, we had a hamstring pull with Wyatt Simmons, but J.J. Shelton's kind of there. But the top 3 would be those two, as you said, and then Shaw, and then we're certainly counting on Wyatt Simmons to be probably the next guy.
I don't know if I'm supposed to, but David Oki, you had said he might be out in a week or so. Are we allowed to talk about, is he going to be back this spring is my question. If you can't answer it, I understand.
No, I can answer it. Okay. We probably could have brought him back today, probably. We thought we went this far, another 10 days, but he will be back on Tuesday. So he'll get 9 of them. And that's kind of most of these guys will be, without the Jordan Young had the surgery, so we know that he can't come back. But most of the guys Kenai Walker is a guy that we need to see, that will be back on Tuesday as well.
How are you feeling about the offensive line after 5 days? I saw a little, maybe just for a little bit, it looked like Marion was working at Summit right guard. Yeah. Not a whole lot, but just your thoughts on where things stand right now.
Well, it gave us with Kobe Branham having surgery on his pec, that gave us opportunity to move. And Marion's so valuable because he can play so many positions for us. Obviously, he wants to start at wherever. Right now, it's right tackle. But when Kobe had his surgery, which is unfortunate because he's one of the best offensive linemen we have. I mean, he's a good player. But we can develop somebody else, and he'll be back for fall and all those things. But it allowed us to move Harris inside a little bit, and it allowed us to have Shaq be a 1, because certainly he has the talent to start for us. So, but to answer your question, that's why we did it. And we'll probably move him a little bit to left guard as well, at some point.
Shaq is listed at 6'8", 362. Is he taller than that? I mean, you got other guys that are listed at 6'8", and he's taller than them.
He's not Dan Skipper height, but he's close. I mean, he is. Dan, when he was here, now Dan's a huge man now, but when he was here, he was a big guy, but he was, he looked tall because he wasn't thick, thick. That's where Shaq doesn't look so tall because he's so big as well, but yeah, I think he's every bit of that 6'8" or more, and he can move. I mean, he's not a freshman, which was your question, but he's as impressive as a newcomer. I think him and Mike on offense would be the two guys that are, well, you have Sharp too, Shanks, those guys, but on the O-line, he's been really impressive for a young guy. Corey Robinson obviously has been playing well too, but I'm real happy with him.
Seems like so far maybe Larry Worth is kind of the voice in the secondary right now. Your thoughts on him? He said he verticaled 41 inches also. What kind of future does he potentially have at safety or nickel?
Well, we're kind of rotating him a little bit, at hog and safety, and obviously I think we have 4 guys in the secondary, that we're going to get back. They're just not healthy right now, so we're trying to find out exactly which place Larry can play. But, he ran, I believe it was 47-something into 400 meters in high school, and it just wasn't as big as he is now. But I believe he's an NFL-type player. He can really run, and he's physical. And you're right. He's always been a vocal guy. I don't know if they were listening to him as much as they do now since he's starting and he's making good plays and all that. But he has that capability, and I like him a lot. He's really, really physical. And so we just have to find out where we're a better defense, whether he's at hog or whether he's at safety. Right now he's playing more safety.
Where do you feel like Keyshawn Blackstock needs to improve this year, and do you feel like he's kind of making strides?
Well, I think we finally found his place. I think right guard is his, where he can, we moved him a lot last year. I was watching, all the tape from last year and trying, he played several positions for us last year. I don't know, he had to, he's playing right tackle against Tennessee, and he played guard, and I believe he played some left tackle for us as well. So, I think putting him at one spot, I think we found his spot where he can have success, and he's still got he's not stepping well to his left. We've got to get that figured out, but his pass protection has been as good as it's been since he's been here at right guard.